Welcome back to the program. This is big ticket transactions conversation, so you need to have a big hat when you're talking about 500 billion naira program. Even by today's naira value, there's still a pile of dollars on the table, and the Lagos State is the one that has the heart to take that and ask the market to fund such a debt program. Let's bring in Larry Abuluro, who is the Director of Sales at Chapel Hill Denham, one of the firms. Of course, remember, Chapel Hill Denham listed one infrastructure bond on the FMDQ Securities Exchange, still a little bit hot in the market. Less than about 30 days ago, isn't it?
Yes.
Bolani, good morning, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, Larry, sorry. Yes. Yes.
Thanks for having me.
That was less than 30 days ago.
Correct, yes. We did
So you folks are experts at what you call structured finance, isn't it? That's what this is all about.
Pretty much, I mean.
500 billion naira Lagos State bond. Let's step back a little bit. Let's piggyback a little bit and look at why did Lagos State believe that it needed this huge amount of money?
Well, I mean, given the infrastructure deficit the state government has, it looked within and did its analysis about this is the amount they will need to support, in addition to the IGR the state's already collected, to finance the renewal of the infrastructure of the state. And as you know, you invest in infrastructure, the economy grows, employment goes up, and there'll be more people in the workforce that pay more taxes to the state.
So it's very simple.
Very simple.
From an investment banking, the structured finance expert point of view, out of all the 36 states in Nigeria, it looks like everyone in and out will lend money to Lagos first.
Given on the financial structure of the states, yes. I mean, it's fiscally responsible. They've been raising money from the markets for the past few years. They pay as and when due. The IGR collection is very impeccable. I mean, it's very strong. And I think the way it's structured is definitely a template that a lot of states can follow.
500 billion naira. Considering the estimated GDP of Lagos State, close to about 200 billion US dollars. Some say 130, some say 180, but looks like depending on the source. Yeah. But again, that's a lot of money. 500 billion looks like a drop in the ocean. 500 billion naira, I mean.
Well, it looks like that, but I mean, it's still a large sum of money. And like I said, they definitely need more. And like I said, there are other sources of funding which the state has at its disposal to finance its infrastructural needs.
Well, 500 billion, well, if your IGR is very decent, as it were.
Correct. So, I mean, yes, I mean, it accounts for about 70 to 72% of its revenues. I mean, the rest comes from the federal government in terms of FAC. But yes, they have a robust RGR, which I guess supports the financing needs the state is looking for.
Well, when Lagos State went to the market to do this package of a program, what were the issues that investors were concerned about? Is it about the size? Is it about the price? Is it about the expected returns, so the ability to pay back?
I mean, as investors, your first concern is definitely returns. I don't think they're really concerned about the ability of the state to pay back. Like I said, their structure, there's a security trust set in place, a CDSA, which is a Consolidated Debt Service account, an ISPO, which, the CDSA has been funded. About 15% of IGR goes into that monthly. So about almost $1 billion naira every month goes into this account to service the principal and interest of this particular debt the state has. So concerns around that, I think, is quite muted. Any investor is always about returns. And what we've done, or what the state has done, was to benchmark this as, to what the sovereign is doing. Similar tenor assets on the sovereign side. And, a little premium to that. And I think a lot of investors find that attractive. And as you can see from the offer itself, with a 100 billion program, the state did about 85 billion, quite successful. I mean, the largest issuance money raised in the last 4 years. And part of that program, so it was a 7-year and a 10-year program. The 10 years, the first non-sovereign issuance done in Nigeria ever, which kind of extended the yield curve. And I think it's quite impressive a feat done by the state.
At a point last year, the deep end of the recession, as it were, sure. A bit of a credit rating haircut came for Lagos State, as we saw. The sovereign also got a bit of a credit, a bit of a downgrade for Nigeria. Do you think that at any point dented investors' confidence in Lagos State ability as a subnational to meet its obligations, and in terms of the quality of the state's revenue and all that?
So overall, I mean, if the sovereign gets downgraded, the whole country, I mean, every part of the sovereign gets downgraded in a way. But Lagos State, based on the credit ratings received from Augusto and from GCR, it's still an A+ rated subnational. So I think on a micro level, it might have a little bit of effect, but I think Lagos has proven, to its investors and to everyone else that, it's still, I mean, it's the fifth, depending on what numbers or who you talk to, the fifth largest economy in Africa. It's growing. About 65% of the companies, manufacturing, or businesses are residing in Lagos. So I think the metric still speaks to, regardless of whatever ratings that the sovereign must have received, Lagos, they kind of, in a way, stands out and it's quite unique in the structure.
And looking at the matrix of what works for Lagos, aside high-rise banks, insurance, and the manufacturing companies, the seaports, now we have the oil companies.
Yes, of course.
No, not just oil companies. Yeah. The oil production and the refineries are the Lagos backwaters. And that, you think that is not a game changer for Lagos in terms of IGR?
It is, but I think it's more than that. There's the informal sector, which a lot of people don't really talk about. It's a huge component of that in Lagos. Like I said, you mentioned the banks, the insurance. There's a huge service industry in Lagos that also, helps in regards to revenues. So I would not just, talk about the oil companies. They might be, big in regards to, revenues that they generate for as a business. But it's more than that. I mean, Lagos, in a way, is a very diversified state.
Talk to us about the informal sector in Lagos. You think part of the IGR, large one, comes from this retail end of the population?
So a bulk is still from the formal sector. There's still,